Welcome to this yoga flow class for your body and your mind. Just find some space, laying down on your mat, somewhere you're not going to be disturbed for at least half an hour. And let's connect with our breath, just breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let's just take a couple more nice deep breaths together. And then gently coming up into a seated position on your mat. Nice deep breath in, exhale up, interlace fingers, turn palms up to the sky, nice big stretch. And then coming over to the left hand side. Coming back to center and over to the right hand side. Back to center and gently release your arms. Now taking your left arm and placing the forearm down on the mat beside you, lifting your right arm up and over the top, gentle side bend. And dialing it all the way over to the right hand side. Coming back to center. Stretching arms out in front of you, interlacing fingers, palms facing outwards, stretching up to the sky. And release, coming into a gentle supine twist, right hand coming to left knee, left arm coming to the back of your body. And returning to the center, let's twist out to the right hand side. Now coming up onto your mat, we're going to come into tabletop position and we're going to do some cat-cow. So your knees should be hip distance apart, hands should be shoulder distance apart, fingers splayed open nice and wide. Inhaling up, chin's coming up to the sky, navel's coming to the mat. Exhaling, curving through the spine, chin is coming to chest. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Just working at your own pace here. Let's just do a couple more together. And then we're going to be coming into an extended child's pose. So just coming back to sit on your heels, arms are stretching out in front of you, knees coming out to either edge of the mat, forehead to the mat. Just completely release. And coming into standing on the mat now, we're going to come into a mountain pose. And then hands to heart center, lifting up to the sky. Let's take our right leg over our left leg and gently bending to the right hand side. Returning to the center. Taking left leg over right and gently bending to the left hand side. Coming back to center, releasing your arms, releasing your legs. Inhale, raise your arms up to the sky. Keeping arms nice and wide open, gently coming over to the right hand side. Coming back to center and taking your arms over to the left hand side. And coming back to center and release. Stepping to the front of your mat now, we're going to do some sun salutation, arms to heart center. Taking arms up to the sky, gentle back bend. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Hands coming to mat. Inhale, exhale, halfway lift. Reaching through the crown of the head, lengthening through the spine. Gently coming back into your fold. And let's take right leg back. Followed by left leg. You're in your plank pose now. And lowering yourself to the ground, coming up into up dog. Toes underneath and pushing all the way into downward facing dog. Feet are hip distance apart, hands are shoulder distance apart. Just allow your head and your neck to relax. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. We're going to be lifting our left leg into three-legged dog and lowering yourself all the way down to the mat with that leg still lifted, coming back into your up dog. Let's push back up into our downward facing dog. This time lifting up the right leg, three-legged dog, lowering yourself down, chaturanga, pushing through to up dog. And let's come back into that downward facing dog. And then we're going to jump to the front of the mat, come into forward fold, and gently rolling up through the spine. Hands to heart center and release. Second round of sun salutation, hands coming to heart center, inhaling up, gentle back bend. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Chest is coming to thighs. Just a micro bend in those knees. Halfway lift, extending through the crown of the head and back to your forward fold. Hands are on the mat, this time taking left leg back, followed by right. Lowering yourself from that plank into your up dog and pushing through to your downward facing dog. This time right leg's coming into three-legged dog. Lower yourself all the way down to the ground, pushing up into that upward facing dog. Tucking tailbone under, pushing through to your downward facing dog. Lifting up the left leg this time, three-legged dog. Lower yourself down to the ground, chaturanga, pushing through into your upward facing dog. Tucking toes under and coming into your downward facing dog. We're going to jump to the front of the mat. Come into your forward fold. Gently curling up through the spine, lifting your arms into the air, bringing hands to heart center. And release. Coming into your third sun salutation now, hands to heart center, inhaling up, gentle back bend. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, extending through the crown of the head. Inhale, exhale, fold. Right leg's coming back. Followed by left. You're in your plank pose now, lowering yourself down to the ground, coming into that up dog. Coming into your downward facing dog now. Drawing shoulders away from your ears. Lifting up right leg. Three-legged dog, lowering yourself down to the ground and pushing through to that up dog. Tucking toes under, coming into that downward facing dog. Lifting up left leg, lowering yourself down to the ground, keeping that leg lifted, pushing up into up dog. Tucking toes under and coming back into your downward facing dog. And then jumping to the front of the mat, coming into that forward fold, and gently rolling up through the spine. Hands coming to heart center. Nice deep breath in, sweeping arms up into the air, and sweeping arms down to the mat, taking your right leg back. Coming into a gentle twist, left arm's coming up to the sky. Coming back to the center. Let's come into a half split. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Returning to the front of the mat, release that left leg back. Right leg's coming to the front of the mat. Gentle spinal twist. Right arm's coming up to the sky. Dialing it back to the center, coming into that half split. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Coming back to the center, placing both hands onto the mat and coming into that plank position now. Coming up into your downward facing dog. We're going to lower our knees down to the mat, push forward into plank. back to your downward facing dog and pushing forward into plank. Let's do 2 more of these. And coming back into your downward facing dog, you're going to walk your hands towards the back of the mat this time. And gently rolling up into a standing position, stacking one vertebra on top of the other. And we're going to come into a high lunge now, left foot forward. So you're on the balls of the feet on your right foot, lifting arms into the sky, clenching fists, exhaling down. Nice right angle in that front knee. 3 more of these, inhaling up and exhaling down. We're going to be transitioning to Warrior One now. So place your back foot down so it's facing the top right hand corner of the mat. Inhaling, take arms up to the sky. Exhale, release them behind your back, interlace fingers, and inhale, exhale, forward fold. Allow your arms to come up and over the top as much as they possibly can. Nice right angle in that front knee. Inhale, exhale, returning to center, transitioning to Warrior Two. Right foot's turned to face the outside edge of the mat. Hips are facing to the side, arms out either side. Into Peaceful Warrior. Right arm's coming down the back of the leg, left arm's coming up and over the top. From here, transitioning into an extended side angle. Left arm's coming onto the left thigh, right arm's coming up and over the top. Nice straight line from your fingertips to your toes. And staying here if you want to, otherwise we're going to take a bind. Right arm's coming behind your back, left arm's coming underneath your thigh. Hands meeting each other if they can, interlacing fingers, opening up through the chest, gaze is down towards the mat. And gently releasing, coming back into that Warrior Two position. We're going to dial it round to the front of the mat, both hands coming down and coming into a standing split. Right leg is lifted. Releasing that right leg to the front of the mat, coming into a forward fold. And then gently rolling up through the spine. And we're going to do that happy little dance on the opposite side. So left leg's lifting up this time, sweeping back, coming into your high lunge on the balls of the feet on the left-hand side. Inhaling, raising arms up to the sky, clenching fist, exhale, release. Just working in your own pace, inhaling up and exhaling down. Okay, final time. And we're going to transition into Warrior One pose. So placing that left foot down on the mat, toes pointing to the top left-hand corner, raising arms up to the sky. Exhale, release, interlacing fingers, opening up through the chest. And inhale, exhale, forward fold. Just allow those arms to come up and over the top as much as they possibly can. Just let gravity take hold. Engaging core and returning back to the center. Releasing your arms. And transitioning into your Warrior Two. So back foot is facing the outer side of the mat. Hips are facing to the side. Gaze is over your right hand. Going to be transitioning into Peaceful Warrior now. Left arm's coming down the back of your leg. Right arm's coming up and over the top. Tucking that tailbone under. From here we're going to flow into an extended side angle. Right arm's coming to the top of the thigh. Left arm's coming up and over the top. Nice straight line from your fingers through to your toes. Staying here if you want to, otherwise preparing to take a bind. Left arm's coming behind your back, right arm's coming underneath your thigh. Finding your hands if you possibly can, interlacing fingers, opening up through the chest. Gaze is looking down to the mat. Engaging core, returning to the center, back into that Warrior Two pose. And then releasing your arms, dialing them round to the front of the mat, coming into standing split. Left leg is lifted. And let's release that leg to the front of the mat. Moment here in ragdoll pose. Just regaining your breath and then gently coming back to the center. Lifting up your right leg, we're going to step into goddess pose. Nice big squat. So we're going to be doing eagle arms, left arms coming over right arm, just twisting through the arms, interlacing fingers and pushing down and away from your shoulders. And coming back to center and swapping arms, right arm is coming over left and gently coming back into that squat, just pushing away with your elbows, feel that through your shoulder blades. Just bring your toes to face the front edge of the mat. And we're going to inhale, exhale, and forward fold, pivoting from the hips. Bring your hands down to the ground if your practice will allow it. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, walking your hands to the outside edge of the mat. Nice deep breath in. And gently coming back to center. Jump your feet to the center of the mat. And we're going to step over to the right hand side for our moon salutation. Feet hip distance apart, inhaling up. Interlacing hands, coming up onto your toes. And gently bending over to the left hand side, returning to center. And then gently over to the right hand side. Coming back into the center, and then we're going to lift up that left leg, step it out to the side and come into that goddess pose. Transitioning into triangle pose, right foot is coming to face the outer edge of the mat, straightening up that front leg, pivoting from the hips, left hand coming down to the mat, right arm coming up to the sky. Right arm's dialing round to the center, coming into pyramid pose now. And then inhale, exhale, coming forward on that front knee. Into low lunge, inhaling up, taking hands up to the sky, gentle back bend. Dialing hands back to the center, we're coming into a low lunge, left hand side. Transitioning over to the right hand side and straight into that low lunge, inhaling, taking arms up to the sky, gentle back bend. Dialing hands back to the center. And we're going to be transitioning into the pyramid pose. So coming straight up onto that front leg. Nice forward fold over the top. Transitioning into triangle pose. Left arm's going to be coming up to the sky. Right hand is resting on your ankle or the floor, whichever your practice will allow today. Coming out of your triangle pose, transitioning back into goddess pose. Stepping right leg up to join left. Taking hands up to the sky, coming up onto your toes. Folding over to the right hand side, back to center, and over to the left. Returning to the center. Right leg stepping out, coming into that goddess pose. We're going to be transitioning into triangle pose. So just pivoting your left foot round, pivoting from the hips. Right hand's coming down to the mat, left hand's coming up to the sky. Left hand's dialing it round to the center to come into pyramid pose, straight front leg. Back leg is on the midline with your body. Going to transition into a forward lunge here. Right foot is forward. Inhaling up, arms coming to sky, gentle back bend. Coming into a side lunge, right hand side, and transitioning over to the left hand side. pivoting around, coming into that low lunge, inhaling up, gentle back bend, releasing hands back to the center, coming straight into your pyramid pose. Nice straight leg on the front there. And let's transition into triangle pose. Right arm's coming up to the sky, left arm's finding somewhere where it can sit, either your ankle, your shin, or on the floor. Engaging your core and coming up into goddess pose. Stepping left leg over to meet the right leg. Taking hands up to the air. Gentle bend to the left hand side, returning to the center. Gentle bend to the right hand side. And coming up on your toes to finish. Gently release your arms. Step into the center of the mat. We're going to come into a yogi squat. And just placing your elbows between your knees, bringing your hands to heart center. And if you want to, you can stay here. Otherwise, we're going to be taking a bind. So just walking your heels a little bit closer in towards each other. And then wrapping your arms around the outside of your feet. Interlacing your fingers and bring your head down towards the floor. And gently coming up to standing position. Okay, we're going to do chair pose now. Feet just a tiny distance apart, inhaling up, exhaling, sitting down, arms extended out in front of you. Just holding that position and then release. And let's go again, inhaling, raising arms up, coming into your seated position. And release. We're going to do 2 more of these. Nice deep breath in, arms coming up to the sky, gently sitting down. And release. Okay, final time. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Coming down to the mat now, we're going to come into our tabletop position. Hands are shoulder distance apart, knees are hip distance apart, and we're going to extend our right arm out and our left leg, extending at shoulder height, and then sweeping your arm around to find your foot, and then just gently pulling that foot up towards your bottom, and release. Let's do the same thing on the opposite side. Left hand, right leg. Extending out and then sweeping round to find your foot, gently grabbing hold of it and pulling and pushing with your foot and your hand. And then release. We're going to do a gentle spinal twist now. So take your left foot and put it underneath your bottom. Left leg's coming up and over the top. Gently sweeping your right arm around the top and left hand comes behind you, pushing up through the floor, gazes over your left shoulder. And let's swap it around now. So your left foot's coming under your bottom, right foot's coming up and over the top. Gently pulling it in towards your chest with your left arm. Right arm's coming behind you, pushing up through the ground, gazes over your right shoulder. We're going to come into a forward fold now. Extend both your legs out in front, inhaling up, exhaling down, reaching forward, lengthening through the spine, grabbing hold of any part of your leg that you can reach. Inhaling, exhaling to come a little deeper into the fold. And then bringing the soles of your feet together into butterfly position. Gently placing your hands onto your feet and then inhaling, exhaling, fold in down between your legs, opening up through the elbows. And then coming into Savasana onto your mat, we're going to bring our knees up towards our chest. And you can gently rock from side to side. And then we're going to come into reclining pigeon. We've got left leg coming over right leg and just gently taking your hands through the gap and pulling on that right thigh. Let's swap the legs over. Right leg's coming onto left thigh and just gently pulling that left thigh towards you. Taking arms out either side of your body, let your legs fall down to the right hand side, faces coming to the left. And then bring your legs back to center, legs fall out to the left hand side, face comes to the right. And then gently rolling up into seated position. And you're all done. Thank you so much for joining me. If you want to stick around, I'm going to do a gentle meditation now. So lying down on your mat in Savasana and just connecting with your breath. I want you to imagine that you have a beaming light of white energy is flowing through the crown of your head and is flowing all the way down your body to the very tips of your toes. And you can see this white healing energy flowing around your feet and coming up into your calves and your knees. And it's flowing up into your legs and relaxing your body. And it's relaxing your arms and your chest. And it's flowing all the way down your arms to the very tips of your fingers. And it's relaxing your neck and all the muscles of your face. And as you lay there, completely relaxed, it's as though you could just simply drift away. And then gently bringing some awareness back into your body. And when you're ready, coming back up into a seated position. Just taking a moment to connect with your breath. And then gently opening your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.